Hi, boys and girls. I know yesterday when you read Pout Pout Fish Goes to School that you worked on asking and answering questions about words that you don't know. And in that story, there's a few vocabulary words that are pretty hard that you have to figure out and probably ask yourself, what does that mean? And we do that a lot with a lot of different books. But today we're going to talk about different characters in different books and how we can sometimes compare those characters and how they're the same and how they are different. How their actions in the story might be the same and how some of their actions are different. Like you may pick up your own book and say, oh wow, this reminds me of that other character when I read this book. And that helps your mind relate to different characters and different stories. So if you remember our friend Pout Pout Fish here, and we also have Little Fish here. And Little Fish also has another story called The Fish with the Deep Sea Smile. Already I could think about how those two might be different in the beginning of the story, how those actions are different and experiences. Well, right now I'm going to read you the story, Bubble Bubble. And this is a noisy ocean book. And this is about little fish. So as we're reading, you may want to stop and think how this character, Little Fish, is the same as Pout Pout Fish and how it is different, or how their experiences and actions were different in the story, or how they are the same. Are we ready to begin? Bubble Bubble. Look what Little Fish has found. A bubble with a gurgling sound. Gurgling. You might even have to ask yourself a question about that word. He asks Red Crab, whose could it be? I'll follow it and then I'll see. Swimming through the ocean blue, Little Fish asks Octopus too. Not mine. With a giggle, she says with a giggle. I don't blow bubbles, I just wiggle. Then Fish meets Dolphin and says, hello, who blew that bubble? Do you know? No, says Dolphin. Off for a swim. But there goes Turtle. Try asking him. Did you blow this bubble that we see? No, says Turtle. It wasn't me. But I'll give you a little clue. Look nearby. He's big and blue. And to Little Fish's great delight, it's Whale blowing the bubbles, shiny and bright. Hello, says Whale. Come and play. We'll blow bubbles all through the day. Wow, Little Fish finally solved his problem. Little Fish kept asking each different ocean animal he ran into, whose bubble is this? Who blew this bubble? I want to know who blew this bubble. So he asked many different animals, and you may ask yourself, who did he ask about the bubble? But in the end, he finally solved his problem of wondering where that bubble came from. And it came from Whale. Now, if I want to think about this story with Little Fish and think about this story with Pout Pout Fish, I might want to think, how are my two characters the same? Or how are my two characters different? Or maybe not even how they are different, because it's not about how they look. It's about the different actions and experiences they had in the book. And I know one thing that was different is this little fish was searching for the answer to where the bubble came from. And that was different than the Pout Pout Fish book and his search. In Pout Pout Fish wasn't searching for anything. Other characters in the story wanted him to stop frowning and to turn that frown upside down. But some was the same with the two characters in the different books was that both of them had a lot of talking or asking of questions back and forth with the other animals. Both books asked questions and did answers with the characters. So in this book, with Little Fish asked a lot of the questions. But in this book, the animals asked Pout Fish the questions. So even though there were questions back and forth, Little Fish asked the questions, and the other animals answered. And in this story, the other animals asked Pout Fish the questions, and then Pout Fish answered them. But in the end, Little Fish solved his problem by finding the whale who made the bubbles. So in the end, their problems both got solved, but by different actions happening. And Pout Fish's problem got solved because he finally did turn that frown upside down. And instead of spreading dreary wearies, he's spreading cheery cheeries. I hope you spread some cheery cheeries today and think about when you pick up a book, does this character in this book remind me of any other characters in different books I've read? So today I'm not going to make you write anything down, but I want you to think about everything you've been learning this week. If you see a word you don't know, ask a question about what does that word mean. Use your pictures and the text to try to figure those hard words out. And also, think about the different characters in your book and think about how the characters' actions and experiences are the same sometimes or different. Maybe some characters have the same problem in the story and maybe they do solve their problem in the end. So, pick up at least one book today. There's level readers on your teacher's e-class pages, and you might be meeting with your teacher for reading groups. And if you are, think about the characters in your books and see if you can think back, that reminds me of another character I've read about. So enjoy, and there's other Pout Fish stories coming your way this week. So, see you later. Have a wonderful day of learning.